How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of Soft, welcome to today's stream. Today, I am finishing and thus concluding LoveKami Healing Harem, the final game in LoveKami trilogy. I've been having an absolute blast playing this for the last few months. Moe Novel, of course, making great VNs as always. This one is incredibly thirsty compared to all the others, but, well, it is what it is. Enough chit-chat, let's hop straight into it and finish up LoveKami Healing Harem. So as I recall, we had just finished a festival, or we were in the middle of a festival or something like that. Hello, McKay, how you doing? Ready for the socially maladjusted goddess waifus? Yes, aren't we all? Finishing up our food, we left the falls. Yukari seemed to be thinking something over. What's the matter?
はい、少し考えるところがありまして。
The rear shrine and its endless summer. The former Tatarigami Kaide and current Tatarigami Yukari. We suddenly found ourselves heading for the sacred forest.
ここだけはお祭りもやってないんですね。
Well, remember we chose the other girl, whose name escapes me at the moment. Because this place is sacred, not exactly a place to go all out. You could practically hear the summer cicadas calling through the air in there. Looking at the lush green of the forest really pulled you out of the fall festival mood. Yukari. I said her name and took her hand.
Akira-san.
She gripped my hand back. Her Tatari wasn't out. I just wanted to hold hands. What are you going to do?
どうと言われましても、正直言って私にもわかりません。このままでいいのか、それとも何かをなすべきなのか。アキラさんはどう思いますか?
Even I didn't know how to answer. Hello, Dim Lord. Welcome to the finale of Thirst Fest, the game. Sorry, LoveKami Healing Harem. Want to get going? We're not finished with our date yet.
Hi.
I let go of her hand and we linked arms. That brought us back to normal. At least, I felt it did. Whew, I'm stuffed. Isn't it the best thing when you go to a festival and you're just eating and it all tastes so good and you just go home feeling like you don't need to eat again for a week? Such a good feeling. With fried manju and some skewered food in hand, I was feeling too stuffed to go on.
Akira-san, お手伝いしましょうか?
No, I got this. My pride kept me from giving up. Yukari was perfectly fine, and somehow, that really got to me.
結局、スタンプはいくつ集まったんですか?
How many girls have we met during these games who just have their stomach is a bottomless pit? Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks, Dim. That is a lot. That's unfortunate. 5. She peered over the sheet with worried eyes.
ボリュームあるのが残ってますね。
Heavy stamps? The skewered konnyaku was one thing, but the thick noodle yakisoba and the mountain veggies with rice was a bit too much to handle.
食べずに持ち帰ってスタンプだけ押せばいいのでは?
But it's at its best right now. Kaide was serving up her very best cooking. By refrying things right when they were ordered, she was keeping everything fast and tasty. The whole stamp collection thing is a huge hit. I think we should do it every year.
シオンさんのお手柄ですね。
Shion! That's her name.
出すだけじゃここまで盛り上がらなかったと思います。
People are talking about how good the food is. Look at that couple eating over there.
ラブラブですね。
Abu Abu desune. Abu Abu? Lovey-dovey? Is that how you say lovey-dovey in Japanese? Abu Abu? That's cute. I like that. It was adorable watching the two having fun, sharing the food with each other. If they're still here now, think they'll hang around for the voting? The stamp cards let everyone know about the vote that night. There were even some prizes ready, which would encourage people to stick around. Shion and Kaide had really pulled off some magic this year. Yukari, though, she just enjoyed the festival with me. I could eat a lot, Mike, but for some reason when I'm at festivals or when I'm out of the house in general, my food intake just goes way down. When I'm at home, I eat so much, but when I'm like traveling, my appetite just goes away. Probably, I don't know why. Which means I need to travel more. Her plan was to show off our relationship, but how much did people even notice? I still wasn't so sure. I understand how you feel, Dim. Hope you get something somewhere soon. And just like that, the evening was upon us. The falls were still lit up, but the food was all put away. The stamp collection also moved over to the shrine as people gathered up for prizes. The braziers were lit, and the flames danced into the sky. Building up to the grand finale, all unnecessary lights were turned off. Oh man, a Shinto shrine, like with natural lighting, that at night, that's gotta be so beautiful. The fall festival was a harvest feast, but it was also to honor the shrine's deity, Kaide. That's gotta be kind of weird, just having your deity walking among you. The main shrine was probably performing their ritual now. Out here, things were much less formal. Goddesses and humans were living side by side, after all. We had the goddesses and their supporters. By the light of the fire, I could see the smiles on everybody's faces. Well, that's something then. It's about time. I still wasn't qualified to carry things out on my own. So we had one of our regulars act as MC and lead us through the voting.
さて、皆さんお待たせしました。上森神社例大祭最後のイベントを始めます。先刻告知した通り、こちらには今山中の神様がいらっしゃいます。どの神様が最もお祭りを盛り上げたか、皆さんに投票で決めていただこうという思考です。
She gave a quick rundown of how it would work and introduced the three of them.
まずは我らが祭神静森楓様。
静森楓です。皆さん、楽しんでいただけましたか?
With a smile and a wave, she got the crowd cheering. A beautiful girl like her, working out there in front of everyone all day, was bound to be remembered.
続いてみそのシオン様。
シオンだよー。いっぱい盛り上げたから、みんな私に投票してね。
She got my vote.
みんなありがとう。
She got a roar from her groupies. She was really popular with those sorts.
そして最後に天津ゆかり様。
But there was no response, and Yukari was nowhere to be seen. Yukari?
ゆかり様はどうしたんじゃ。
どこに行ったのかしら、あの子。
Don't tell me she gave up already. Wow.
探しに行ってこようか。
The place grew anxious at her disappearance. But still, we had to proceed. Or so I thought. But then she showed up in the most unexpected of places. She stood silent on the wing of the stage.
ご紹介に預かりました。天津ゆかりです。楓様、シオン様と違い、この神森の地において、私は新参の身。ならば、皆様へのご挨拶代わりに、これより特別な舞をご披露したいと思います。
Oh? She took this moment as her last chance. She had waited for the most heated moment to put on her performance.
ちょっとあの子本気？姉さん、あれやばいよ。ゆかりちに全部持っていかれちゃう。
Yukari was the only dancer on stage. There were no flutes, no drums, just one goddess about to dance.
ちょっと待ちなさい。私たちも一緒にやるんだから。
Oh, come on. Let her do her thing. Yukari is easily my least favorite of these, but let her do her thing. Come on. Thinking they'd lose if they didn't do something, Kaide and Shion barged into Yukari's performance.
足手まといにならないでくださいね。
誰に言ってるつもり？私だって舞くらい舞えるし。
では、共に舞いましょう。神森の地とそこに住まう人々をことほぐ舞を。
Well, she actually looks pretty happy. They all do. Bells rang out, and as they did, the three began. Yukari danced pompously. Shion danced brilliantly. Kaide danced elegantly. Each started in their own style, but soon they all merged into one spectacular performance. Even those in the audience who had looked on with uncertainty at first were transfixed by it. Wow, they're so in sync. It was hard to imagine they were at each other's throats just moments ago. They each had their own mannerisms, but they all came together. It was truly divine bliss. The light from the fire colored them red and made the whole thing quite magical. Then the bells rang again. Once, twice, 3 times. They spun as if raining miracles down upon everyone watching. With heavenly grace bestowed upon them, everyone felt uplifted. And with that, their performance came to an end. Slightly out of breath, Yukari stepped down in front of the crowd.
改めまして、天津ゆかりと申します。つい先日、運命に導かれ、この地にやってきました。
She spoke passionately, and everyone listened.
運命とは、そう、ここにいる真瀬明さんのこと。私は明さんと縁を結び、この度お嫁さんにしていただきました。
Hey, hold that thought.
お集まりの皆様には、私たちが夫婦のちぎりで結ばれたことをここにご報告申し上げます。
ちょっと待ちなさい。何どさくさに紛れてカミングアウトしてるの？
Yeah, back that marriage mobile up.
そうだそうだ。アッキーの嫁とか認めてないし。
Kaide and Shion couldn't let that slide by.
邪魔しないでいただけますか？これは私の大切な報告の席なのです。
She wasn't going to wait for the vote. She was going for it now. This was her real plan.
既成事実を作ろうとしても無駄よ。私もアキラくんの妻としてここに名乗りを上げます。私もアッキーの妾だから。
Okay, we get all 3 of them. The happiest of endings. According to most guys.
私とアキラさんの幸せな舞台をぶち壊すつもりですか？
いいえ、私とシオンも一緒に幸せになるってだけよ。ゆかりっちだけ幸せになってうちらを置いてけぼりなんて絶対認めないんだから。
Oh, she didn't like that. Yukari was outnumbered. She lost the words to fight back, but instead raised her hand for help. she threw the decision my way. Suddenly, all eyes were on me. You could feel the tension in the air.
アキラさん。アキ。
アキラさん、お願いします。
Some kind of half-hearted decision wouldn't do. Fine. Let's settle this once and for all. My wife, my better half, and my mistress. I choose you all! Yukari, Shion, Kaide, I'll marry all three of you! I could never choose just one of them, even though we've only known one of them for like 2 days. I love them all too much for that. Sure, we had our troubles, but we all lived together and grew to understand one another. Is polyamory a... is that legal in Japan? Hang on, is polyamory legal in Japan? Or polygamy, rather. Polygamy. Yeah, it's straight up illegal in Japan. Yeah, well, he just announced in front of the whole town that he was going to marry all three of them. Probably means he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail for saying that. And they're goddesses, so... yeah. Yes, I chose you, and only you, of course.
違うでしょ。アッキーが選んだのは全員でしょ。どちらにせよ、誰かが泣くことはなくなったのね。
ならば、誰がアキラさんの一番なのか、ここではっきりさせましょう。
You know, McKay, to be fair, they've got a population problem over there, so maybe this could actually do them some good, you know? Just forget about that. I laughed and gave her a hug. I waved the other two over as well. You're all mine! I'll make sure I look after you all, so that you all feel you're my number one. I didn't think there was really any reason to put a number on anyone. Maybe it was selfish to claim everyone was number one, but this was my choice.
アキラさん、さすが私の運命の人。アッキーも男を見せたね。私はいいと思うよ。
私も賛成よ。アキラくんもやってくれるじゃない。
Yukari, Shion, and Kaide. As of this day, the three of them were officially my spouses. He has yet to even kiss Yukari. Everyone gathered here celebrated that fact.
アキラさん、幸せにしてくださいね。
She cuddled up to my arm.
なら、私はアッキーを幸せにしてあげようかな。
Shion stood up on her toes with a smile on her face.
なら、私はみんなを笑顔にするわ。
Kaide drew all of us in together. Let's all keep getting along, yeah? There's an old story in Kamimori that those who profess their love at the Autumn Festival will live happily ever after. Is happiness something we are given? No, I think not. Happiness is something you get when you seek it. And I hope for it. I seek it. Happiness for all of us, forever and ever. So what was the point of us having to choose one of them earlier? Literally like 45 minutes ago in game time. Well, we did pick her, so maybe that's where that decision comes in. A date? A while after the fall festival, Shion asked me on a date during breakfast, out of the blue.
ダメなんて言わないよね。ダメに決まってます。意義ありですよ。二人っきりでデートなんてずるいです。行くなら私もついていきます。
ええ、そうね。いきなり二人でデートというのは私も見過ごせないわね。
Yukari and Kaide firmly rejected Shion's bold announcement. Shion maintained her confidence despite their glares.
ちっちっち甘いよゆかりっち楓兄さんこのデートは投票を制した勝利者の権利なんだから
She puffed up like a peacock, flaunting her victory in their faces. Well, I guess she won. Shion had won the Fall Festival popularity contest by a whisker. The deal had been that the winner would be granted one favor, and I guess this is what Shion wanted. Yeah, and that's why we picked, made a decision.
私にはアッキーからご褒美をもらう権利があると二人はちゃんと理解してくれるよね
She's right.
それを言われると反論できないわね
We still have yet to kiss, Yukari.
理解はできますけどまさかここでそれを持ち出すとは思いませんでした
So by now we have kissed Shion. We have done way more than kiss with Kaide, and Yukari is just in the corner, I guess. Since they had all agreed on that condition, there was no room for objection. They had to honor Shion's request.
というわけだから私のお願いは今日一日アッキーに付き合ってもらうことアッキーに予定があるとかなら今日は諦めるけど大丈夫だよね
Of course not. I'm all yours today. I was still in shock a little. I hadn't expected her to ask me out so boldly. A date with Shion, though? That sounded like fun.
あそうそう二人とも隠れてついてきたりするのはなしだよもしそんなことしてるって分かったらまた別の日にもデートしてもらうことにするからね
I like that. They were totally gonna do it. Obviously frustrated by Shion's demands, Yukari and Kaide turned away. They'd totally been planning to spy on us.
時間はもったいないしご飯食べて準備したらすぐに行こっか
Roger that. I'll come get you when I'm ready. Just like that, it was time for my date with Shion. Well, I gotta go. But don't worry, I'll be back soon. Kaide and Yukari looked jealous as they watched Shion hug my arm as the two of us set off. Kaide strained her face, and Yukari cried bitter tears as she gnawed on her handkerchief.
私はアキラさんを信じています信じていますともアキラさんが私よりも先にシオンさんに手を出すなんてことありませんよねそうねくれぐれもよ節度を持ったデートをお願いね
No promises.
それは振りってことでいいのかな私期待されてたり
Shion tried provoking them by pressing her chest harder against me, but they just smiled back at her.
もしそんなことになったら私はシオンさんのことキュッと締めちゃうかもしれませんよ
Is that a threat?
私もちょっと転がしちゃうかもしれないわね
Is that a promise? They joked with smiles on their faces, but their eyes were dead serious.
二人とも笑顔がやばいよ安心してくださいシオンさんが何もしなければいいだけですよええ信じているわよラジャーです
I felt a little bad for Shion, but I made sure to keep my mouth shut. Learning her lesson, never say anything in front of your wife. It will be used against you. Shall we?
そうだねそれじゃあデートに出発早めに帰ってきてくださいね
Yukari and Kaide saw us off until we disappeared from sight, and our date finally started. So, where to first? Want to take the bus to the main shrine? After walking for 10 minutes, we stopped at a fork in the road. We'd set off without any plans. Maybe I should have thought of something. This was a date after all.
アッキーのエスコートに期待してるって言いたいとこだけど大丈夫。デートの予定はもう決めてあるからね。計画は万全で抜かりはないよ。
Boy, you're efficient. I'd assumed she'd ask me out on a whim, but this was Shion we were talking about. Of course she'd made her own plans. Was it vain for me to feel ashamed as a guy for a girl to ask me out?
最初は商店に行こっか。
Nonsense. Girls asking out, nothing wrong with that at all. You sure about that?
今日は一日街を回るつもりだからね。まずは近いところから行こうかと思ってね。
I see. Hey, don't pull so hard! Shion was so excited she didn't realize she was close to yanking off my arm. There was no sense in trying to calm her down. Before I knew it, I was smiling.
こうして改めて抱きついてって思ったけどさ、アッキーって意外と筋肉あるよね。
Really? I'd say this is pretty normal.
いやいや、これはなかなかのものだよ。見た目細いのにしっかり筋肉があってすごく男の人っぽい。こういうの細マッチョって言うんじゃないの？
I guess Shion really had a thing for muscles. I guess it was better than being called delicate.
いやー、いい肉体美ですよこれは。
I do believe you're blushing, Miss Goddess.
一人で神社の仕事してるし、階段の上り下りとかで鍛えられてるのかも。
True. I'm the only guy working at the shrine, so I do a lot of the manual labor. And those stairs sure are a workout. But don't my arms bother you? They're hard and not that huggable.
なんで？力強くて守ってくれそうで安心するよ。この腕で抱きつけば、ゆかりっちもカエル姉さんも一発 KO だね。うん、間違いない。
How about you, Shion?
私はいつだってアッキーの魅力の虜だって。
Shion playfully winked. That made me want to tease her. Oh, yeah? Then what'll happen if I hug you now?
ダメだよアッキー。デートの最初から飛ばすとこう後からバランスが取りづらくなってね。
The moment Shion let go, I put my arms around her and hugged her tight. When I pulled her body close to mine, a scent that reminded me of soft flowers tickled my nose.
大胆だね。私の魅力に気づいたのかな。
What's with all these horny girls in this game? She looked down and fidgeted, but I could tell her face was growing red by her ears peeking through her hair. She tried so hard to maintain her composure. It was cute. Come on, it's a date. I'll take my liberties. You know, I've always wanted you.
卑怯だよアッキー。私の乙女部分を引き出してどうするつもり？
I'm just satisfied seeing you all cute and embarrassed.
アッキーは本当女たらしだよ。
Again with the harsh remarks. Even then, Shion wasn't resisting, so I kept my arms around her.
とにかくアッキーはこれ以上の誘惑禁止。
Yeah, what are you gonna do if I do?
デートは始まったばかりなのにいきなりこれじゃ Z 頼んだよ。
Though Shion was adorable while embarrassed, I kept my mouth shut. We started walking towards the shop. When we got to the store, Mr. Marunuma was doing inventory.
やっちゃ
Hello, Mr. Marunuma.
おお、アキラ君にシオンちゃん。
When Shion greeted us with a wave, he paused work and waved back.
二人きりなんて珍しいな。おまけにくっついたりして、今日はえらくラブラブじゃないか。
今日はアッキーとデートだからね。
She must have gotten used to the hugging now, the way she rubbed against me in front of Mr. Marunuma. She had to know she was putting me at the edge of my wits.
デートか、そりゃいいな。しかし、デートなら何もこんなとこじゃなくて、本宮の方に行った方がいいんじゃないか。
こんなとこじゃないよ、おっちゃん。私にとっては大切な場所なんだからさ。
くー、嬉しいこと言ってくれるね。ほら、みかん食べな。
Really? Mr. Maranuma gave us one of the fresh new tangerines he just got in.
サービスだよ。いつもしおんちゃんにはお世話になってるからな。
あんがとう、おっちゃん。甘酸っぱくておいしい。
Let me take a bite. Yep, delicious. Grateful for his generosity, we devoured the tangerine.
あ、そうだ、おっちゃん。秋祭りってどうだった？
The fall festival? While I was wondering why she'd asked, Mr. Maranuma answered,
今年は特に盛り上がったな。うちの店も出店で儲けさせてもらったからな。
Shion started to bombard him with more questions. What did you like about it? Not like about it? Did you have fun? And finally,
幸せだった？
幸せ？そりゃそうさ。神様たちの神盛りは大にぎわいで、神楽舞も見れた。これで幸せじゃないなんて嘘でも言えねえな。
そっか。ありがとう、おっちゃん。
that last question especially stuck with me. What was she expecting to hear? Oh, because she's a goddess of misfortune, she was worried that she would be ruining everyone's time, but she didn't. She just needed to hear it. You're good?
あまり長いしてもおっちゃんに悪いしね。
Satisfied, Shion finished the tangerine and urged me to head to the next spot.
おう、デートを楽しんでこいよ。
おっちゃんも仕事頑張って。
We waved to him as we left the shop. After that, we went on to visit every nook and cranny of the town. Shion was popular everywhere she went. People teased her for being on a date, but it only showed how loved she was as a goddess. Even while she was doted on by the elderly townsfolk, she always asked people about the festival. I didn't know why that was significant, but it must have been crucial information to her. Yeah, we don't get to go around town like that all the time. It was pretty late by the time we returned from the main shrine.
ごめんね、アッキー。あまりデートらしくなくて。
I had plenty of fun escorting you around town. Are you saying that you didn't have fun?
そんなことないよ。アッキーと一緒で楽しかったし、おじいちゃんたちにちゃんと恋人扱いされて嬉しかった。
So, we both had fun. What more could we ask for? You've got nothing to be sorry about. Plus, I could tell today's date had meant a lot to Shion. I was really happy she had asked me to join her.
アッキーはそういう恥ずかしいこと面と向かってやるのはずっこいよ。
It's only the truth.
そうやって本音を言えるのがすごいの。私は本音がなかなか言えないからね。
Considering how she ended up here, I could understand that. But was it bothering her?
ずっと歩きっぱなしだったからなんか喉が渇いてきちゃった。ちょっとジュース買ってくるね。
Blushing slightly, Shion dashed away to the nearest vending machine. But then she started feeling around her pockets. Something was wrong. What's up?
財布を落としちゃったみたい。
Oh no! She patted her pockets and gave an awkward smile.
おかしいな。バスに乗る前までは確かに持ってたはずなんだけど。
Did we steal it from her while we were hugging her? Maybe you left it there. Let's call them and ask. We immediately called the bus company. They said they'd check and call us back. Cool, we'll find it if it's on the bus. So what do you want to drink, Shion?
アキおごってくれるの？
Yeah, we're on a date. I should have done this in the first place. Pick what you want.
どうしたのアキ？まさかアキ無財布を落としたとか？
No, it's not that. Opening my wallet, I saw I'd used up all my change for that last bus fare. I only had large bills the vending machines wouldn't accept. Could the timing be any worse?
私ってほら貧乏神だからさ、お金に縁がないんだよね。こういうことはよくあるんだよね。
Did that mean Shion lost her wallet almost every day? Since she was so knowledgeable with stocks and stuff, it was easy to forget she was a goddess of misfortune. But shouldn't your Jinriki powers be diffused around me?
あれじゃない？おばあちゃんの校舎を手伝ってたでしょ？あの時に離れたからかも。
In that short time.
時間は関係ないよ。怒る時には怒るものだって。仕方ないけど、ジュースは諦めよっか。どうしても飲みたいってわけでもなかったし。
It bothered me that she acted so nonchalant about it. Well, I'm not going to give up. Why don't we go find a place to rest?
それって、その、デート続行ってこと？
Why is she so nervous about that? Also, vending machine, yeah. Oh, I know that they're very yeah. Vending machines. Like, if you're in Tokyo or one of the big cities, then yeah, you can find plenty of vending machines that take, credit card or more often, you know, like wireless tapping, like Apple Pay, Google Pay, that kind of thing. But if you're out here in the middle of nowhere, good luck. It'd be sunset by the time we got back, but I figured that would be okay. But of course, only if you want to.
アッキーは本当にそういうとこうまいんだから。そんなの決まってるって。早く行こうアッキー。ほらほら。
There's no need to rush.
わからないよ。今度はアッキーが財布を落とすかもしれないし。
Oh, I don't want that.
何よりもあまり遅くなるとゆかりっちや楓姉さんが怖いからね。
I was relieved to see Shion's genuine smile. We continued on with our date. There are vending machines that take card/NFC. I'm watching a group of people doing a challenge in Tokyo right now, and a lot of the vending machines that they were checking out had wireless payment options. Not all of them, but a lot of them, at least in the Tokyo area. It's probably more to do with just the fact that it's, you know, a big city rather than it's, you know, Japan being on top of new technology. All the vending machines here in the States, as far as I remember, like Coke machines and stuff like that, they all take just dollar bills and coins. Credit cards do exist for some of them, but usually only in like airports and stuff like that. The sun was long gone by the time we returned home. As expected, Yukari and Kaide bombarded Shion with questions. I was impressed how she talked her way out of it. That was fun. Today's date had definitely been worthwhile. In fact, I think it might have been the first time Shion and I had hung out one-to-one. Yeah, pretty much, McKay.
起きてる？
It's a stereotype. Shion? I heard Shion's voice from the other side of the door. Weird. She never came to my room at night. I'm awake. Don't just stand there. Come in.
うん。お邪魔します。
My heart jumped the moment Shion stepped inside. Well, see, when I say credit card, I don't mean just credit cards. Like, dang, how do I do this? So I've got numerous cards here. This is my bank card. like that. It's my actual bank card. It's a debit card. But I also have actual credit cards. I actually don't have one in my wallet right now. But then you also have gift cards and stuff like that. And at some point, most people that I know of, including myself, just use credit card as a blanket term for any kind of plastic card. So when I say they take credit cards, I mean they take credit cards, debit cards, bank cards, union cards, cashback rewards. You know, like, it's just a blanket term. That's why I say that. Show you the numbers. Oh yeah, sure. 8008-6942. She had just gotten out of the bath and was looking sultry, her cheeks flushed, her hair wet. While I stood mesmerized by her presence, she sat down right in front of me, not by my side like usual.
ごめんね、こんな時間に。
Don't worry, I wasn't busy or anything. So, what's up?
家に帰ってきてからずっと考えてて、さっきようやく決心できたからアッキーに聞いてほしいの。
This sounded serious. Shion's expression was earnest. I knew it wasn't the time to joke around. I sat up straight and faced her head on.
今日のデートはさ、もちろんアッキーと2人で過ごしたいって気持ちから始めたことだけど、本当にアッキーは今年の秋祭りどうだった？
The very same question she'd asked everyone else. There were more attractions than last year, so it was a lot of work, but totally worth it, I thought.
私も同じ。私ね、今年の秋祭りがすごく楽しかった。ほら、私って貧乏神でしょ。今までは必要以上に同じ場所にはとどまらないようにしてたからさ。そんな私にとって秋祭りは誰かと一緒に何かを作り上げた初めての経験なの。
I could tell the festival had meant a lot to her, the way she was talking about it.
だからさ、私が手伝った秋祭りをみんなが楽しんでくれて嬉しかった。貧乏神で嫌われ者の私でも誰かを楽しませることができたんだよ。
I couldn't imagine how happy that must have made her. The whole experience must have given her an immense amount of hope.
私の前力が人を不幸にするなら、私自身が誰かを幸せにしてあげればいいんだって気づいたから。貧乏神は人を不幸にするだけじゃない。誰かを幸せにできるし、楽しませてあげることだってできる。貧乏神である私を受け入れてくれた町の人たちをもっと幸せにしてあげたいって思ったんだ。
To be frank, I was surprised. I hadn't realized how much she cared for this town, or the fact she was trying to overcome her fate as a goddess of misfortune. Happier, huh? By organizing more festivals?
ちょっと違うかな。大小は気にしてなくて、ただ町の人たちが楽しんでくれればいいかなって。
So you don't have anything in particular in mind yet?
まだそこまでちょっとに。だからね、そのアッキーにも手伝ってほしいの。私一人だとほら逃げ癖がついちゃってるから難しいかもしれないけど、アッキーとなら頑張れると思うんだ。
You trust me that much?
当然。アッキーは一番最初に私を認めてくれた。受け入れてくれた。アッキーがいるだけで私に勇気をくれるからね。だから手伝って。違うかも。アッキーには諦めて巻き込まれてほしいかな。
She didn't have to look so insecure. Shion was determined to make something happen. My heart was already set. Of course I'll get involved. I'll help you out with everything. She released all the tension in her body. Did you think I would say no?
全然。でもやっぱりもしかしたらっていうのは考えちゃうからさ。
I feel that.
でも即答してくれるなんてさすがアッキーだよ。
Just like that, she was back to her usual self. That was Shion for you. I said I would help, and I'll do just that. But you're the mastermind in this.
分かってる。アッキーと私のコンビならなんとかなるって。
There was a huge smile on her face. I promised myself I'd do anything to keep that smile there. Last night, I'd made the decision to assist Shion in helping Kamamori City. Ugh, tripped over myself. We had agreed to discuss specifics later and had left it at that.
アッキー。
I heard a familiar voice, along with something brushing my cheeks.
おいアッキー、早く起きてよ。
Huh? Shion? Shion? The sight of Shion instantly snapped me out of my slumber.
飛び起きた。おはようアッキー。
Morning? Oh, shoot! I overslept! I gotta get changed to do my morning reading. Huh? It's still pitch black out there.
そりゃまだ4時くらいだし。
Aw, man, 4 o'clock is the worst time. It's the absolute worst time. If you're up at 4, either you can't fall asleep because there's something going on, or you woke up way too early because you hate yourself. Man, 4 o'clock is the absolute worst time in any given day. What? I checked my phone and saw I still had an hour until my usual wake-up time. See?
もう私が起きてるからって寝坊したって思うのはひどくない？
Come on! Put yourself in my shoes for a moment. But why did you wake me up at this hour? Did something happen?
特にないよ。昨日のことで興奮してあまり寝られなかったんだ。だから早く起きたなら早く始めればいいかなって。
I mean, speaking for myself, I usually wake up anywhere between 10 and noon. 4 a.m. Man, if you are awake at 4 a.m., I pity you and your cow. The way Shion always took immediate action was a virtue of hers, but I never thought I'd be woken up this early.
てなわけでアッキー、第1回の作戦会議を始めたいと思います。
If you're getting up that early for a flea market, then that's the flea market's fault for having that early, man. You're on fire.
当然。こんなに何かをやろうと思ったのは初めてだもん。
Seeing Shion so fired up blew away my drowsiness, even at this hour.
まずは早速行動開始しようと思うんだ。時は金なりって言うからね。貧乏神として1円も無駄にはしたくないわけですよ。
So, what are you thinking of doing first?
何よってそれは。何すればいいんだろう。
I knew that was coming. Well, what do you think? Shion wasn't the type to think things through. I think we'd better run this by Kaede first, since she's the shrine's deity of Kamimori.
楓姉さんの許可がいるんだ。ってことは、あれ？もしかして私はいきなりラスボスと対決しないといけなかったり？
Just called her the last boss? Wow, don't think she'd appreciate that. Is that how you see Kaede?
大魔王？
You'd better not say that in front of her. Kaede could probably kill her with a smile. In any case, you gotta get this approved by Kaede. The sooner the better.
そうだね。どうせ必要なことならパパッと終わらせた方が後が楽だもんね。じゃあ早速楓姉さんの部屋に行って起こしてくれね。
No. Ixnay on the Akeway. Oh, you probably won't find her in her room.
なんで？
She said she was going to wake up early and go to the rear shrine. She's probably headed that way by now.
奥宮か。楓姉さんも朝から頑張るね。
Should we wait until she gets back?
いや、行こっか。早く話がしたいから待ってられない。
Boy, are you young and full of energy.
それに話をしててもゆかりっちが乱入してこないって考えればシチュエーション的には絶好だしね。やっぱりアッキーがいてくれてよかったなって改めて思ったよ。
Sure. Shion broke out into a naive, bright smile. She thanked me so innocently it made me burn up.
アッキー、顔真っ赤だよ。どったの？
It's nothing.
あふん。
Why are you smirking like that?
別になんでもないよ。
Shion? She sprang up, sat next to me, and kittenishly leaned against my shoulder. That's a fun word, kittenishly. Like a kitten. What now, all of a sudden?
相談に乗ってくれてるお礼だよ。
Pretty abrupt.
くっつけばアッキーが喜んでくれるかなって思って。アッキーは嬉しくない？
Of course not. I could feel your chest.
そっか。胸はゆかりっちや楓姉さんには勝てないけど、形は負けてないと思うんだ。
This game, man.
触って確かめてみる？
Oh god. Shion's words directed my eyes to her cleavage. Sure enough, they weren't as big as Yukari's or Kaide's, but they were still pretty nice. I couldn't take my eyes off them.
アッキー、どうする？今ならセットでお尻も触れるよ。
Good night, everybody. A limited time special? You make it sound like fast food or something. I'm not touching anything. Anyway, I gotta get changed. Go wait for me at the entrance.
はーい。それじゃあ待ってるからね。
Isn't he technically married to all three of them? So he should be able to just do that, right? Or is that not how this works? The rules of this universe are very unclear. I felt a bit sad when Shion's warmth faded away, but I quickly adjusted. I had to hurry up and change so we could go talk to Kaide. Well, you did it. You clung on to me all the way to the rear shrine.
だって寒いじゃん。くっついていた方が暖かいし、アッキーの感触を楽しめるし、いいことずくめだよ。
I couldn't deny it. I liked the feeling of having Shion next to me, too.
さて、楓姉さんはどこかなと。あ、いた！
Shion caught Kaide right as she stepped out of the rear shrine.
あら、アキラくんにシオン、奥宮に来てどうしたの？
Shion needs to talk to you about something. I just tagged along.
シオンが私に？
楓姉さんに聞いてほしい話があるんだ。
Sounds important.
大事な話みたいだし、中に入りましょう。
God, I got through almost this entire visual novel without screwing it up, and I just screwed it up. Man, I was so close. The three of us entered the shrine and sat down.
それで、シオンの話って何かしら？
楓姉さんに相談があるの。
シオンから相談なんて珍しいわね。話して。
私は町のみんなを幸せにしてあげたいって考えてるの。
Shion was just as nervous talking to Kaide about her dreams as she had been with me.
というわけで、私は私の力でこの町に幸せを届けようって考えてるの。
なるほどね。シオンのやりたいことは分かったわ。
それじゃ。
でもダメよ。
Aw, what? Kaide immediately rejected Shion's request.
楓姉さん早いって。 て考える素振りくらいしてよ。残念だけど考えるまでもないわ。何もかもが不透明で漠然としすぎよ。
Shion fought back, but Kaede just shook her head. She wasn't going to change her mind.
こういう話をするのなら最低限何をやるか、予算や期間はどれくらいかくらいは決めてからでないと。やりたいだけでどうにもならないのよ。
Kaede turned her eyes to me. I nodded back in agreement to her harsh words. It means she can only consider and approve concrete proposals.
でも許可してもらえれば私がドーンと大きいことを。
Well, like what? Be specific.
大きいことがしたいのなら、なおさら最初の段階である程度の構成を固める必要があるわよ。安全面はどうするの？会場は？イベント当日の運営だってあるのよ。何かをやるにしても簡単にはできないわ。
Shion fell silent, unable to object to Kaede's just reasoning.
別に意地悪でダメだって言ってるわけじゃないわよ。何かやろうというその気持ちはいいと思うわ。
Noticing the silence, Kaede quickly softened her face and let out some words of encouragement.
シオンのことは私が一番そばで見てきたつもりよ。神森に来てからずっと一緒にいたのよ。今だってシオンが神森のことを考えてくれてすごく嬉しかったわ。妹のようにさえ思ってるシオンがやりたいことだもの。本音を言えば手伝ってあげたいわ。でもね、だからこそひいきしちゃダメなのよ。シオンが町のことを考えてくれたように私もこの町の祭人として判断しなければいけないの。
I guess this was tough love. Kaede was able to make profound judgments.
もう一度考えてみて。見えない誰かじゃない。シオンは誰を喜ばせてあげたいの？私が喜ばせてあげたい人。
Shion looked down as she gave it thought. This would be a crucial question for Shion every step of the way.
私ね、おじいちゃんたちにすごく優しくされてるんだ。知ってるわ。本当は最初におじいちゃんたちに何かできないかって考えてた。でも私は何かするなら大きくしなきゃって考えちゃって、いろんなこと考えているうちにわけわかんなくなっちゃって漠然としたことばっかり考えてた。けどそうだよね、そういう漠然とした気持ちでやるものじゃないんだよね。だから始まりはおじいちゃんたちで、私が最初に幸せにしたい人たちもそうなんだよね。
Shion looked up at Kaede as if a light bulb had gone off in her head. Something come to you?
もちろん。ありがとう、楓姉さん。私が心からやりたいこと、その方向性がなんとなく見えてきたよ。そうなら頑張りなさい。シオンがちゃんと考えて決めたことなら私は応援するわ。それじゃあ一回戻ろうか、アッキー。また作戦会議だよ。
Hey, wait up, Shion!
アキラくん。
Right as I was about to head out of the shrine when Kaede called my name.
シオンのことよろしくね。
Yep, you can count on me.
アッキー、早く早く。
Coming! I gave a reassuring nod to Kaede and ran after Shion. Okay. After we returned home, we went to the kitchen to organize our thoughts. Seemed like an idea struck you with Kaede's advice. What was it?
簡単だよ。私が誰を喜ばせたいかってこと。楓姉さんと話をして分かったんだけど、私はみんなを幸せにしたいって気持ちが先行していたの。
It's not like that anymore?
上森市のみんなを幸せにしたいって気持ちはあるよ。でもね、近くにいる誰かさえ幸せにできないならそん なこと土台無理な話だよね。それにね、よく知らない誰かよりまず身近な人を幸せにしてあげたいの。だからまずは顔なじみの人たちに何かしてあげたいって思ったの。
Yeah, like she said earlier. They all adore you, that's for sure.
そういうこと。
If Kaide was the town's idol, Shion's popularity equated to something like the town's cheerful mascot. The elderly people she interacted with all treated her like a granddaughter. She had no problems getting along with them.
とはいえ、まだ何をするかも思いつかないんだけどね。
That's why I'm here to help. If we work together, we'll come up with something good.
頼りにしてるからね、アッキー。けど、みんなが喜ぶことってなんだろう。
All my ideas so far aren't too exciting. So then... I folded my arms to think, glanced at the fridge, and remembered something. Shion, you do know that the local specialty here is the konnyaku, right?
町のみんなも今年のこんにゃくは出来がいいって喜んでたし。
That's right. But that konnyaku gets tougher to eat as people get older.
そうなの？
It's really chewy and hard to bite off. I hear old folks complaining about not being able to enjoy it after making it themselves all the time. So why don't we come up with konnyaku dishes for the elderly to enjoy?
こんにゃく料理。それいいね。やっぱり好きなもの食べられないってのは辛いからね。また食べられるようになったら絶対に喜ぶよ。
Shion was on board. The food suggestion had been on the right track.
ただ、私って今まで食べる専門だったからそこが不安かも。
She'd said as much back at the time of the festival. How about we ask for Kaide's help?
やめとく。いきなり楓姉さんに頼るのは何か違うし。
Fair point.
今時はネットでいろいろと調べられるからね。レシピを調べていけば多分いけるはず。意外と考えすぎない方がなんとかなることも多いからね。
Does that mean we're going to move forward with making a new senior-friendly konnyaku dish?
問題なし。ここから私の料理道が始まるんだよ。
Oh, I'm sure she's going to be a great cook.
とりあえず試しにこんにゃくを使った料理を作ってみるところからかな。
You're cooking already?
だってどういう料理があるのか知らないとレシピとかって考えられないと思うし。
I'd recommend simple recipes first then.
となると、ちょっと待ってて。
Shion left the kitchen and came back a few minutes later with a bundle of paper. What's that?
部屋のパソコンでパッと目についたレシピをいくつか印刷して持ってきたんだ。でも軽く調べただけでもかなりあったからどれが簡単なのかはわかんないよ。
Yeah, that's a lot of them there. It'd be tough to go through all those recipes.
どれが簡単だと思う？
How about this konnyaku stir fry? It doesn't require that many ingredients.
これなら私でも作れそう。
Cool. Let's try it out. We started the prep for the first konnyaku recipe. We'd been given some konnyaku as a gift, so we were lucky enough to have all the ingredients on hand already.
アッキー、包丁ってどこにあるの？
They should be in the lower cabinet.
了解。
We gathered up the knife, cutting board, konnyaku, sesame oil, and white sesame seeds. Now to start with the slicing.
こんにゃくって袋から開けたばっかりだとこんなにヌルヌルしてるんだ。
Careful with that knife. Konnyaku's slippery, so it's going to be hard to cut. Hey! Shion, do you not know how to use a knife? She was holding the handle with a clenched fist, holding down the konyaku with her other hand, and was trying to cut with the middle of the blade. So wrong I don't even know where to start. Looks like I gotta teach you how to hold and use the knife before we go any further. There was no way I was going to let her cook without having the basics down. So she doesn't know how to cook. Teaching her how to handle a kitchen knife and giving tips on slicing was the least I could do. I still felt uncomfortable about it, though.
親指と人差し指で刃元の中央を握って残った指で絵を持って
It was a nerve-wracking sight. So what was she trying to do? Like, something like that, I guess? I just needed to make sure she didn't hurt herself.
押して切るんだよね。あれ？なんか包丁が滑ってうまくいかない。
Hey, Shion, maybe we should practice cutting veggies first.
もう少しでコツがつかめそうだから。
She wasn't holding the konyaku down firmly enough, and her other hand was trembling. Don't hurt yourself. Please don't hurt yourself. Please don't hurt yourself. Shion slammed the knife against the cutting board in frustration. The konyaku went flying and slipped down her top. And slipped down her top? Hey, calm down! Shion? You okay? Boy, is she having a rough day. The slimy konyaku was stuck in between Shion's breasts. As it happens all the time. I didn't have time to realize when it was all happening, but this was a pretty crazy situation. Anyway, you gotta take that thing out first. She was just trying to get the konyaku out. Sure, it sounded like she was squirming around and letting out sexy little gasps, but there was really nothing funny going on. I promise. I knew that, but it was still exciting to watch her feel her chest and twist around. I think he's a pervert. What? I'm just watching. Yeah, exactly, McKay, exactly. Happens all the time. What? Me? Shion pulled her clothes halfway down and thrust herself towards me. The kitchen light cast a faint shine on her chest, glistening wet from the konyaku. And I was supposed to put my hand in there? Fine! Here goes nothing! I tried looking away as much as I could as I reached into her top. Quit it with those weird moans, will ya? It was impossible to ignore Shion's soft breasts and the warmth of her body. This is how we lose our Twitch channel, this right here. As I reached farther in, my mind raced even more. So Shion could hold a Konyaku in her cleavage, huh? She was always complaining her breasts were too small, but that wasn't true at all. Shoot! This wasn't the time to be thinking about that! Got it. Yeah. Banned for vegetables. Yeah, we got a konyaki and 2 pomegranates. I finally got hold of the konyaku and pulled it out all at once. Shion's moaning stopped and I had a chance to gather my wits. It's called mental fatigue. The sensation of her breasts on my hand was still fresh in my mind, and I couldn't look at her straight. Anyway, come on. Let's get back to the cooking. Do it right this time. Of course not. Could we really go on like this? Even though we had just started, this whole thing was already a challenge on multiple levels. It had been a few days since we started working on recipes. Good question, Dim. I've never asked. Shion's knife handling skills had improved a lot during that time. At this point, I could just relax and watch from a distance. Yep, looks pretty decent to me. Sure. Could I get some chopsticks? I did as I was told, and Shion fed me her cooking. It was embarrassing doing this every time, but I was starting to get used to it. Well, it's more edible than before. It's definitely edible. At least you got the texture down. Hold up, don't just toss it. I'll eat the rest of it. I managed to intercept Shion halfway to the trash can. The taste doesn't bother me. You made it, Shion, so I don't want it to go to waste. Excuse me. Shion put a lot of effort into making this food. I'd rather eat it than let her throw it away. That's funny. You're officially one of my wives now. That's about as proper as it can get. As Shion smiled, her face starting to burn up. You've improved a lot since we first started.
ゲームだって1レベルの時はレベルアップも早いけど、上に行けば行くほどレベルが上がりにくくなるよね。
That's a pretty good way of putting it, actually. Wow.
料理もそれと一緒だって。
On the first day, Shion hadn't even been able to prep her ingredients properly. It was pretty impressive to see her whipping up dishes now. I got what she was trying to say, though. Everything you do gives you a few more experience points, right? As long as you don't give up, you'll get there in the end.
できる限りのことはしていくけどさ。
Yep, and you'll do great. Anyway, how's the recipe coming?
正直に言えば、やればやるほどわかんなくなってる。おかしいな。もっと簡単に作れるものだと思ってたのに。
From figuring out seasoning proportions to how to cut the konyaku, cooking was a lot of work. Plus, Shion was trying to create a whole new recipe from scratch.
このままじゃ拉致が開かないよね。
When you hit a wall, it's best to seek advice from experienced cooks.
ゆかりっちは楓姉さんに聞くからね。
I'm sorry, guys. There's something in the back of my throat. They're the first ones who come to mind.
聞くのはいいけど、それだとなんか任せっきりになっちゃいそうなんだよね。
You won't be asking them to come up with the recipe with you. Their input could be to think of something. I like to cook too, but I definitely lacked the proper knowledge to come up with a new recipe. And Shion only had access to online recipes. She could only get so far without some more hands-on advice. Tell them exactly what you're looking for and listen to what they have to say.
そうだね。使えるコネがあるのに使わないのはもったいないからね。よし、決めた。お昼ご飯の時にでもゆかりっちたちにお願いしようかな。
最近何か頑張ってると思ったら、なるほど、料理にしたのね。
After lunch, Shion asked Yukari and Kaide for their help.
私に秘密でアキラさんと二人っきりで料理をして手料理を食べさせていたなんて。ずるいですよ、シオンさん。デザートは私とかやっていたんですね。いや、普通に料理してただけだよ、ゆかりっち。でもあんはたくさんしたね。食べさせ合いっこってあんなにいいものだったとは思わなかったよ。
そんなことしてたのね、アキラくん。
Thanks a lot, Shion. Why would you stir things up like that? Now I'd have to suffer through Yukari and Kaide's glares. Trust me, nothing weird happened.
そういう問題じゃないです。シオンさんだけずるいです。アキラさん、私とも濃厚な口づけによる食べさせ合いっこをしましょう。それがいいです。
Good night, everybody.
そんなはしたないことはいいから、私にもあーんをしてくれるかしら。
はしたないとは何ですか？これは夫婦の愛情を深めるためにも重要なことですよ。
We'll talk about that another time, all right? The recipe's our first priority. Are you two in?
もちろんです。アキラさんの頼みを断ったりなどしません。
私もよ。シオンからのお願いだもの。喜んで協力するわよ。
It was so encouraging to hear that they were willing to help. I appreciate it.
本当ありがとね、ゆかりっち、楓姉さん。お礼はアキラさんを一日自由にできる権利でよろしくお願いしますね。
はいはい。バカ言ってないでキッチンに行くわよ。
縛るのはなし。
In exchange, I get the guy. Yeah. Come on, we got work to do. Hey! Kaide bound the feisty Yukari with utmost grace and led the way to the kitchen.
こ この光景もすっかり見慣れてきたことに私は驚くよ。
Same here. Sharing one last smile, we followed after them. By the time we got to the kitchen, Kaide and Yukari were already prepping. Since they were usually in charge of the cooking, they knew their way around much better than me or Shion.
さすがは我が家の料理長。私との戦力の差は圧倒的だよ。
Our cooking's child's play compared to theirs. Afraid of getting in their way, I didn't dare touch anything.
準備はこれで良さそうね。ゆかりさんの方はどうかしら。
こちらも準備は万端ですよ。悔しいですけど、やっぱり手際はいいですね。
これでも長いこと料理はしてきたもの。それでどういう料理が作りたいのかしら。
おじいちゃんたちが食べやすいこんにゃく料理だよ、楓姉さん。ネットでレシピを調べていろいろと作ってみたんだけど、全然うまくできなくて。
We had tried out lots of them, but none stood out as the one we needed.
なるほど。それじゃあおじいちゃんたちが食べられそうな料理を意識して作ってみましょうか。
となると何がいいでしょう。だいたいどういうものを使った料理かは見えてきますね。
そうね。とりあえず一品ずつ作ってみましょうか。参考までに聞くけど、アキラくんたちは何を作ろうとしたの？
We were trying to make konnyaku dressed with tofu and miso. It seemed so easy, but
思いっきり失敗したけどね。
she was right about that. I barely managed to wash it down with lots of tea. Frankly, I wouldn't have finished if Shion hadn't been feeding me.
やっぱり合成着色料をふんだんに使った色でもしていたんですか？いくら私でもそんな料理は最初の頃にしか作らなかったよ。
最初の頃には作ってたのね。
What are they getting at? Yeah, it was hard to swallow.
アキラくん食べたの？
アキラさん、よくご無事でした。そんな過去の失敗はどうでもいいから食べてみてよ。
そうだったわね。それじゃあちょっと作ってみるから待ってて。
アキラさん、見ていてくださいね。
Just like how they prepped earlier, Yukari and Kaide immediately got to cooking. In what felt like no time at all, their finished dishes were set before us on the table. It's even visually appealing. Both dishes were a treat for the senses. Just looking at them stirred up my appetite.
召し上がれ。
それじゃあ、いただきます。どっちも美味しい。
Of course. They were made by Yukari and Kaide, after all. Everything tasted excellent. It was hard to say which dish I preferred.
今更ながらこのレベルの料理を私が作ろうとしてたなんて。
Aw.
私は無理ゲーに調整してたんだね。
It sure is good. The old folks would probably enjoy this just as it is.
そういうわけにはいかないわよ。これは1回目よ。ここからいろいろと改良していかないと。
Yeah.
そうは
Excuse me.
美味しい以外の感想は出てこないよ。やっぱり私の味覚は問題ないって言ってる。
Yep, my taste buds agree. I love the seasoning, no complaints there. And the flavors are strong and bold. I appreciated that they were both cooking to my own tastes, but the seniors could probably use a little less salt.
無意識レベルでアキラさんの味覚に合わせて作ってしまうのは仕方ないことです。
Of course.
ならもう少しハッキーレベルを落として作らないと。なかなか難しい注文ですね。
I had to admit it was pretty amazing that Yukari seasoned food to my liking at an unconscious level. All you have to do is use less salt.
努力してみます。それじゃ意見も出たところでどんどん作っていきましょうか。
Maybe you won't be able to finish it today after all. No, I'm sticking with this until it's done today, even if it takes an extra hour. They continued to cook like there was no tomorrow, using up all the konnyaku we had stocked up. And besides, I got at least another 35 minutes until the day's usually over anyway. Plenty can happen between now and then. As a result, we were able to concoct a great recipe by nightfall.
これでよし。
Did you post that recipe yet?
オッケーだよ。しっかり神様考案っていうお墨付きもつけておいたからすぐに注目されるんじゃないかな。
Smart. The recipe was good to go, but Shion just had to take it one step further. To get even more feedback, she posted it online to see how others reacted. How long will this take?
目立たせてるし、レシピもいい出来だから早ければ1日も経たずにレスが来るんじゃない？とは言っても絶対じゃないから念のため数日は様子見した方がいいと思うけど。
In the meantime, should we practice making it some more?
やめとく。少し触ってみたけど
Aw.
私は食べる専門の方
Poor
が
Shion.
向いてるって改めて分かったし、手料理はおじいちゃんたちに作ってあげられないのは残念だけどレシピは渡せるしそれで十分かな。
Are you going to be okay with that?
アッキーに食べさせてる時も思ったけどまずいもの食べさせるのって嫌なんだよね。だから私はこれでいいの。空いた時間は適当に漫画とかゲームでも紹介しつつ反応を待つよ。
Too bad. I was looking forward to more of your cooking. Shion gave me a blank expression.
アッキーって適当に
That's hilarious. Not at all. I just thought it'd be a shame for you to quit now, especially since you've improved so much. She really had put in a lot of work. Did she really have to give up here?
考えとこよ。
She replied half-heartedly and went to go play games. I could understand. I didn't push her any further. The recipe Shion posted online was met with an overwhelmingly favorable reception. Every comment had something good to say. It was a solid win all across the board. Shion was so confident, she scheduled a meeting to present the recipe to the elderly. But on the morning of the meeting... Huh? Is Shion still in bed? I'd come back from running some errands, but Shion hadn't come out of her room yet. She's supposed to present the recipe today, right? Don't tell me she forgot. I knew she wasn't that irresponsible. It worried me that she wasn't up yet. What else could I do besides wake her up? Just as I stood up to go to her room, the door to the living room clattered open. Oh, morning, Shion. You're up late. Wait, what? Hello, yeah? Good God, man. Oh my lord, she really is wearing nothing under that shirt. Okay. Seriously? What are you wearing? Nothing. Shion was practically half naked, walking into the room like it was no big deal. Her unbuttoned shirt was hanging loosely off her shoulders, and it was obvious she wasn't wearing a bra. Unaware of her appearance, she tilted her head in confusion, looking at me through half-closed eyes. It seemed like the slightest movement might make her shirt fall off. For a moment, I thought I caught a glimpse of something I shouldn't have, but I chose to think it was just my imagination.
寝坊しちゃってごめんね。昨日ちょっとだけゲームするつもりだったのに熱中しちゃって。気がついたら日が昇ってて驚いたよ。
Yeah. Anyway, you might want to check your clothes.
なんか顔赤いよ、アッキー。熱でもあるの？
Half asleep, Shion came closer to me. I couldn't help but notice her soft, flawless skin, huggable body, and long, slender arms and legs. I suppressed the urge to stare at Shion's beauty and managed to look away.
ラッキー、さっきからなんかおかしいよ。やっぱずーっと目をそらしてるし。
Just the small.
さっき見ちゃった。
Yep, saw it all. Judging by those nervous noises, she must have finally realized how little she was wearing.
これは寝ぼけていた不可抗力というか、こんな大胆に見せるつもりはなかったというか。あっき、ごめん。
Whoa! Before I knew it, Shion was hugging me. Shion, what are you? I mean, that's one way to make him stop staring at her is by, you know, getting this close.
お願いだから今私の顔見ないで。絶対今人に見せられない顔してるから。
Peeking out between her hair, her ears were bright red. What should I do then?
もうちょっとこのままでいさせて。せめてもう少し気持ちが落ち着くまで。
Got it. I could feel Shion's bare skin on mine. From this distance, I could even feel her heartbeat. This moment had become unexpectedly intimate. The minutes passed by in silence, and she is still late for a presentation. I was nervous, but in another sense, it just felt right. Oh, great. Okay. We were both finding it hard to find the words to fill this silence. Although Shion said she was fine, she wasn't pulling away. Shion, you said you calmed down, right?
そうだけどさ、ね、なんていうか、ありがとうね、アッキー。
No need to thank me.
そんなことはないよ。私の料理を手伝ったり、レシピを考えたり、ずっと手伝ってくれてたもん。ちゃんとお礼を言っておきたかったんだ。だから、俺、本当にありがとうね、アッキー。
Shion's lips brushed mine for a split second. This has actually turned really sweet, man. It was enough, though. I lost all sense of reason. Shion. I hugged her back and kissed her over and over. And then Yukari walked in and saw them and killed them both, and that's how the game ends. Shion stepped away just when I thought we would go on kissing forever. A sudden sense of loneliness rushed through me as her warmth disappeared. It was a miracle I didn't say anything in protest. Oh, she realized. Oh, that's right. I got so focused on kissing, I completely forgot that I was supposed to be reminding Shion to get ready. Good idea. Yeah, please do. After Shion scrambled out of the room, I could feel the tension leave my body. Shion's body was so soft. Wait, what the heck was I thinking? Ah, my face is hot. I'm sure my face was just as red as Shion's. I calmed myself down and went to see her off. Still fresh from our impromptu makeout session, we were a little embarrassed, but we couldn't help but grin at each other.
なんかまたキスし したくなっちゃうね。
Right now? I'd be all for it.
やめておくね。あれはお礼だったから。今度はちゃんとキスするから、それまで待ってて。
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
それじゃあ行ってくるね。
Give the seniors my regards. Shion left, full of energy. I'd wanted to go with her, but I had work to do around the shrine. She'll be fine, right? Even though she had needed to pass on the recipe when she made her usual rounds, I had a bad feeling I couldn't shake off. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Still, I had a bad feeling about it. That sounds ominous. I've got a bad feeling about this.
ただいま。
Welcome back. What happened? You look sad. A drastically less enthusiastic Shion returned at the end of the day.
いや、見えなんて張るものじゃないなーって。
What do you mean? Did something happen?
特大な自業自得がね。
Something must have been really bothering her. I'd never seen Shion this down. Can I ask what happened? It's fine if you don't want to say, but maybe talking about it will help you feel better.
わかった。アッキーには聞いてほしいの。あのね、おじいちゃんたちにレシピを渡しに行ったでしょ。そのレシピがすっごく好評で喜ばれたんだ。
That's good. That's great. So your plan was a success.
そこまではね。その後さ、私一人でレシピを考えたのか聞かれて、
Oh no.
それだけならまだいいんだけど、勢いで楓姉さんにも負けないくらい料理上手って言っちゃってさ。おじいちゃんたちが私の手料理を食べたい。
Shion, you didn't. Let me guess. You told them you would.
今さら嘘だって言いにくくて、絶対美味しい料理を作るって約束しちゃった。
That was going to be a difficult promise to keep.
どうしよう、アッキー。全然料理なんてできないのに、このままじゃおじいちゃんたちをがっかりさせちゃうよ。
Huh. Did you set a date for this?
来週かな。
Next week, huh? That gave us a little time, but not enough to polish Shion's cooking skills completely. What are you supposed to be making? I hope it's nothing too complicated.
渡したレシピの料理だよ。私が一番美味しく作れるってことになってるし。
Well, Shion, this is what we call a bad situation. In that case, Shion might manage to pull through, even though it really wouldn't be the same level as something made by Yukari or Kaede. Alright, it's all about practice now.
なんとかなるかな。
It's not going to be easy, but I think you can do it. Besides, it's not like you have a choice. I didn't like that she'd lied, but I was glad this meant she'd start cooking again. Plus, the initial plan had been to serve Shion's cooking anyway. You can't give up now. I'll help you out any way I can. Excuse me. I'll help you out any way I can, so let's just give it our best shot.
わかった。私頑張るよ、アッキー。
That's the spirit. And like that, Shion was on board with cooking again. We'd have to master this recipe by next week, no matter what. Faced with the deadline of just 1 week, Shion worked hard to recreate the recipe as many times as possible. She hadn't mentioned anything to Yukari or Kaede. It was a lifesaver that they hadn't asked any questions yet. It was obvious Shion was up to something. She'd taken over the whole kitchen. This is your 7th time if you're only counting today.
7回ってもうそんなに作ったんだ。
Despite all her practice, Shion still couldn't achieve the flavor she desired.
来る日も来る日もこんにゃくを刻む毎日。もうこんにゃく見るのも食べるのも飽きてきたよ。
You've done this to yourself. You're improving. Slowly but surely.
多少マシくらいだよね。具材の大きさはバラバラだし、こんにゃくは臭みが残ったりするし。全然ゆかりっちや楓姉さんの味には近づけないよ。レシピ通りに作っているはずなのに、どうしてうまくいかないんだろう。
Relax, Shion. You're just overthinking it. Since she had tasted the perfected dish first, she considered anything that didn't turn out exactly the same a failure. Sure, it may not look as neat, but that's about the only thing wrong with it. Your cooking today tasted just fine.
こんなのじゃ全然ダメだって。もうあき疲れたよ。今日はこの辺りにして一回休もう。
Whoa, whoa! Put that knife down before you hurt somebody. And another thing, I won't let you go on break until you finish cooking what you started here.
おうおう、もっと私を甘やかしてよ。
She literally said boo.
ほら、私って褒められて伸びるタイプだよ。いっぱい甘やかしてくれた方が頑張れると思うんだ。
You got it backwards. The more you're spoiled, the more you fail. Now go on, get cooking.
あ、そうだ。ちょっと待っててよ、アッキー。
Hey, Shion! Before I could even finish calling her name, she had vanished from the kitchen. Judging from her face, I was sure she was up to no good. Oh, God! This again. Hey! What? That's... Just like the little stunt she pulled before the fall festival, Shion was now wearing nothing but her cooking apron.
前にも見せてあげたよね。あの時アッキーはこの格好を気に入ってくれたでしょ。
You can't just come out like that without warning! The apron fluttered along with her movements. I caught myself looking and turned the other way.
ご休憩ってやつだよ、アッキー。もう今日は頑張ったしさ、休んでもいいじゃん。
But we don't have much time left. We gotta keep doing what we can.
私は根を詰めすぎると逆効果だと思うんだよね。だから一日くらい休みがあってもいいんじゃないかな。ほらほら、肌色多めだよ。
Yes, you are. Don't make it flutter like that. You were so shy with that shirt. How can you be okay with the apron?
見せるつもりがあるのと見せるつもりがないのとじゃ全然覚悟が違うって。今は見せてもいいと思ってるの。なんならめくってもいいよ。
She went out of her way to show me her bare peach-shaped behind.
やっぱりアッキーってお尻フェチだよね。
Don't label me like that!
でも今だって私の魅力的なお尻に釘付けだよね。
You're flaunting it! What do you expect?
シシ、見てることは否定しないんだよ。
Well, it's true that you have a cute butt.
やっぱり褒められると嬉しいね。私のお尻って形もいいけど触り心地もいいと思うんだ。アッキーなら触ってもいいんだよ。確かめてみる？
You could tell that her plump, perky butt was also invitingly soft just by looking at it. I couldn't help but reach my hands out. But at the last minute, I saw that Shion was trembling, which made me think twice. Okay, fine, let's take a break. Mentally prepared, huh? I don't think so. She was obviously embarrassed out of her mind. What was she thinking? Go get changed. She won't be able to relax like that.
はーい。前も言ったけど、お酒くれてもよかったのに。
Hurry before you catch a cold.
風邪ひいたら意味ないもんね。じゃあ、ちょっと着替えてくるから待ってて。
I let out a huge sigh after Shion left the room. She must have really wanted a break if she'd resort to that just to get her way. Hopefully she wouldn't make a habit of it.
ごちそうさま。それだけでいいの？うん。あまり食べると試食ができなくなるし。ちょっと外歩いてくるね。今日のシオンさんはあまりご飯を食べませんでしたね。
I think they're catching on. Usually Shion would be coming back for second and third helpings, but today she'd barely finished half of what she'd been served. For someone who loved to eat as much as she did, this was unheard of.
この様子だとあまり芳しくないのね。
It's not like she can't cook, but she's a little obsessed with wanting to be as good as you two.
余計なことは聞かないわ。でもシオンのことはちゃんと見ててあげてね。陽気に振る舞って見せてるけどあれでシオンは繊細な子なのよ。何言ってるんですか。アキラさんがそばにいるんですから心配する必要なんてありませんよ。むしろシオンさんが羨ましいくらいです。今はたたりを漏らす場面じゃないでしょ。とにかくお願いね、アキラくん。
Acknowledging Kaide's request, I started to think about what I should do. Hey, there you are. I'd been waiting for Shion in the kitchen. She barely showed up on time.
もしかして来ないと思った？
Maybe.
正直によろしい。でもちょっと悩んじゃったから案外的外れでもなかったよ。
It was unusual for Shion to be so hard on herself. Something bothering you?
気にしてないって言えたらよかったんだけどね。正直ちょっとくじけそうだよ。一朝一夕で美味しいもの作ろうとしてるんだから分かってるんだけどね。これならいっそ楓姉さんに作ってもらってそれを出す方がいい気がしてきた。
Don't give up yet. There's still time. You just need to stay the course a little longer.
せっかくアッキーが協力してくれてるんだもんね。よし、うじうじするのはここまで。さあ、今日も練習を始めよう。
She was putting on a show. I could see she still wasn't 100% with her doubts. But I was glad she was ready to keep on trying. The prepping is all done, so you can get right into it.
お、アッキー準備がいいね。
Seeing Shion at work in the kitchen had become a common sight these days. In the beginning, she needed my assistance with everything, but now she was able to cook all on her own. When she set her mind to it, Shion could pick stuff up really fast. There was no need to rush. Huh? While I was watching her cook, I noticed a dark haze forming. I suspected Yukari might be letting out Tatari, but there was no one in sight.
アッキー、いきなり立ち上がってどうったの？
Yeah, it's nothing. Was it my mind playing tricks on me? I thought I sensed something weird. There it was again. This time the dark haze got sucked into the stove. Something's on fire! What? Did something happen? I rushed to check on Shion, who was now standing by the stove.
なんかコンロの調子が悪くていきなりつかなくなっちゃったみたい。
Strange. Kaide used it just this morning.
ダメだ、つかないや。
Not even a spark from the stove. Was it because of that dark haze? You can't cook without the stove.
せっかくやり始めたのに幸先悪いな。使っちゃった包丁とまな板だけ洗っちゃう。
As she approached the sink, the dark haze followed her and disappeared into it. Did she not see that?
さて、サクサクっと洗っ
What in the world? Whoa! When she turned on the faucet, water came gushing out in a torrent, scattering dishes everywhere.
びしょびしょ。もうなんなの痛い。
Hey, Shion, didn't you notice anything?
気づいてないって何が？
I thought I saw a dark haze around you for a minute there. Maybe that caused the stove and sink to break.
私の体から？それってさ、もしかしなくても貧乏神の人力が悪さしたんじゃん。
Aw, that would be unfortunate. I've never seen your Jinriki that clearly before.
それは。
She fell silent, but she must have known the reason why.
それよりもさ、まずは業者さんに電話しないと。早く修理してもらわないと困るでしょ。
Yeah. Let me give them a call.
私はここでこれ以上ひどいことにならないよう頑張ってみるよ。
The manufacturer immediately sent a handyman our way. He said he could fix it all by the end of the day, but the proposed estimate was quite the hefty amount. And that was including our regular customer discount. After we finished negotiating the price, Shion went into deep thought. Probably not a good sign. Hey, Shion, could you come with me for a sec? I didn't really have anywhere to go, but I figured it'd be best for Shion to move around a little. Don't overthink it. It's not your fault.
本当にそう思う。
Positive.
私はそうは思えないんだ。今までだって貧乏神の人力は制御できなかった。でもさ、今回はアッキーにも見えるほど明確になったんだよね。それってさ、心の底で努力なんてするだけ無駄なんて思った私の気持ちを反映して人力が暴走したんじゃないかな。
For a second, I was at a loss for words. Shion hadn't been herself all day. I suspected that this had something to do with it.
やっぱりさ、ダメなんだよ。私がこれ以上何かしようとするとみんな幸せになれないよ。それならさ、楓姉さんに作ってもらって出すのが最良なんだよ。
At this point, it's best for you to come with the truth, honestly.
初めからそうしておけばよかった。
It's this music again. You're wrong.
アッキー。
I didn't want her to think that all her efforts were a waste. I wanted to prevent that with all my heart. It's not like that, Shion. If you'd asked Kaide to do this for you and not even tried on your own, you'd never have learned as much as you have.
間違いなわけない。これが一番おじいちゃんたちを喜ばせてあげられる方法だよ。私なんかは何もしない方がいいんだよ。
Shion, like I said, you're overthinking it. Cooking is only a means to an end. What matters most is that you'll be expressing your feelings with something you made yourself. We shouldn't lose sight of our true goals. If we do, none of us will ever end up where we want to be.
そんなこと分かってるよ。でも私は嘘をついた。優しくしてくれたおじいちゃんたちに 自分の見栄で嘘をついたんだよ。ならせめて信じてくれたおじいちゃんたちのために嘘を本当にしないと。
Shion, you're just afraid of rejection, right? That might have sounded too harsh, but she needed to hear it. Think about it. Following through with your lie will only make you feel better. It won't help anyone else. They'll find out the truth eventually. Delaying the inevitable will only make it worse.
じゃあどうすればいいの？嘘がバレて嫌われたらいいの？やだよ。私はここでならって思ったの。私の居場所ができるかもしれないんだよ。今さら出ていくなんてやだよ。
Oh, jeez. I understood her past could make her think so negatively, but it was getting out of hand now. Shion. Just as she was on the verge of tears, I hugged her tight and gently patted her head. She'd been holding a lot of anxiety in her tiny little body. Listen, Shion. The people of Kamimori won't reject you for this. They'll never even think of kicking you out. I know it's been a struggle, and it's probably hard for you to believe this, but I'm asking you to have some faith, just this once. This town would never turn its back on you.
そんなこと急に言われても困るよ。だって今まで受け入れられたことなんてなかったから。
Okay, then just believe in me. No matter what happens, I promise I'll always be by your side. That was everything I had to say. I held her close, waiting for her to respond.
本当にそばにいてくれるの？
Yeah. Whatever happens, we'll face it together.
もし私が街を出てもついてきてくれるの？
If it comes to that, we'll just find a new town.
アッキーは私の居場所になってくれるの？
Sure. I'll make sure you always have a place you can be at ease.
そっか。
I felt some warmth as she hugged me back.
アッキーのこと信じるよ。自分の力だけで頑張ってみる。
Don't worry. If anything happens, I'll apologize with you.
おじいちゃんたちに文句言われたら一緒に怒られてね。
Atta girl. Shion looked up. Half crying, half smiling, her resolve was now solid as a rock. Shion, you okay?
なんとか。
The big day had finally arrived. Mr. Shirane and the other senior citizens were all there. Initially, we'd planned to meet at the shrine, but Shion insisted we relocate to the local store and use the kitchen utensils from the fall festival. So here we were, ready for the main event.
それじゃ作るね。
You've practiced plenty. You've got this. Shion picked up the knife and started slicing. She was still nervous. She took her time, giving her cooking a lot of thought. I could tell it was going to be delicious.
これで完成。アッキー、盛り付けを手伝ってくれる？
Roger that. I'll go get the plates. We personally served the food to our elderly guests. I signaled to Shion when everyone had something.
これがおじいちゃんたちのために私が作った特製料理だよ。味わって食べてね。
Anyone could tell at a glance that there were some uneven and slightly undercooked ingredients mixed in. Shion's voice trembled, but she managed to maintain her usual cheerful smile. Now, let's eat! Itadakimasu! We all gave thanks and started to chow down. There were a few off-flavored bites here and there, but overall it was pretty good.
おお、こりゃうまい。まさかこうしてシオンちゃんの手料理を食べられるとは感激じゃわい。
Mr. Shirane felt the same way I did, devouring the homemade meal. But the gloom in Shion's face didn't go away.
ねえ、白根のおじいちゃん。
なんじゃシオンちゃん。
本当はあんまり美味しくないよね。硬い部分とかあるし、野菜は大きくて食べにくいし。ごめんなさい。全部嘘だったの。私は本当は料理が下手でレシピも考えたわけじゃなかったの。見え張っておじいちゃんたちに嘘ついて、こんな美味しくない料理を食べさせて、その気を使わせちゃって。本当は楓姉さんに作ってもらおうって、ちゃんと美味しいもの食べてもらおうとしたの。けど私がみんなで料理作りたくて、だから。
She was trying so hard to hold back her tears. Seeing Shion in distress, everyone there turned to comfort her.
のうシオンちゃん、わしは何も気を使って美味しいと言ったわけじゃないんじゃよ。
ああ、本当に心の底から美味しいと思ったよ。
でもこの味じゃ。
味は関係ないのよ、シオンちゃん。私たちはね、シオンちゃんが一生懸命作ってくれたってだけで、どんな料理よりも美味しく感じるのよ。
That's exactly how I would feel, honestly.
ほら、わしだけじゃないじゃろ。みんな気持ちは同じじゃよ。
The others nodded in unison, showing their agreement with Mr. Shirane's words.
私は嘘をついて。
シオンちゃんが嘘をついていたことも最初から知っておったと思う。
Yeah, we knew.
じゃがの、シオンちゃんはこうして頑張った。そんなわしらのために頑張ったシオンちゃんをどうして怒れるのじゃ。わしらのためにありがとう、シオンちゃん。違うの。
綺麗な理由で頑張ったわけじゃない。貧乏神の私がいられるようにしただけで。
Poor girl. What a difficult goddess. Shion, quit being so hard on yourself. It doesn't matter to Mr. Shirane and the others that you're a goddess of misfortune.
アキラくんの言う通りだよ。
それにの、シオンちゃんが貧乏神なら楓様も元たたり神じゃろ。それを悪く言う人間はこの町に誰もおらん。
どんな神様であろうと、シオンちゃんは私たちの大好きなシオンちゃんよ。
私はここにいてもいいの。
We'd hate to see you go anywhere else. Kamimori City is where you belong, Shion. It seemed like a given to us, but for Shion, this was a really big deal. She could barely believe her ears. Hmm.
私はいてもいいんだ。
I hope these are happy tears. Hug her, man! For the love of everything, go and give her a hug. She'd been on the verge of crying for quite some time. All the emotion she'd bottled up came spilling out, one after another.
ずっと辛かった。人を不幸にしちゃう自分が嫌で、一人の方がいいって分かってても寂しくて。私は誰かにそばにいてほしくて。でも言えなくて、ずっと我慢して我 し続けて。だってそうしないと私の好きな人たちを不幸にすると思ってたから。
You don't have to suppress those feelings anymore. Oh yeah, no, I've always felt for her. That might be one reason why I was drawn to her from the get-go. Is like, she's a goddess of misfortune, it's just so she probably doesn't get all that much happiness, and it's like, well, I want to bring her some happiness. You don't have to suppress those feelings anymore. We all love you, Shion.
信じていいんだ。貧乏神にも居場所ができたんだよね。
Believe it. You've been one of this town's goddesses a long time ago.
私だけだったんだね。変に遠慮してバカみたい。
As she calmed down, she noticed Mr. Shirane was staring at us. He had the biggest grin on his face.
なんともお熱いの。
私はアッキーのこと大好きだからね。
You got all aggressive all of a sudden.
だってずっとそばにいてくれるんでしょ。だったらこれまで以上に出かけとして頑張らないと。
Hugging Shion in front of everyone felt a little like we were putting on a show. But it didn't bother me at all.
アッキー、ずっとそばにいてね。
That goes for you too, Shion.
もちろん、私はアッキーの嫁かけさんだからね。
And I think that's the end. All right. If this is anything like the other two LoveKami games, we'll have a post-credits scene. But that was LoveKami Healing Harem. All right. Man, it is... Moe Novel makes some of the best VNs. I love the voice acting. It's always great to listen to. Anyway, man, I wish they would make more, you know? They made these and they made If My Heart Had Wings, which is my favorite visual novel. I don't know if they made any more, though. But anyway, well, if you guys want to see the Kaide and Yukari endings, then you're going to have to get this game and play it yourself. Which of the three did I like the most? Well, Dim, that's a good question. I feel like the middle one I liked the least. I could say that pretty well. I think I liked the first one the most. Divine Stage, or Divinity Stage. I liked that the most because it felt It felt... how do I explain it? This felt like slice of life almost. Like this is the main character with the girls that all love him and adore him, but mostly they were just doing random stuff here in town, doing slice of life stuff with no real stakes. The second game was even more so. Like, the second game felt almost cliche in how it played out, whereas the first game straight up felt like it had stakes, it had a really intriguing plot, and it had plenty of stuff the whole time to keep you interested as well. This one definitely had the most fan service. Like, it's not even close. I mean, did you guys see this game? Even just watching today's stream alone should show you, yeah, that was a lot of horns that we saw. But I think the first game overall was the better one. But it might just be because of the paths that I ended up with. Second game, it really did feel like I picked the least interesting path. Wasn't on purpose, just how it turned out. This one, I really liked how the Shion path went. It was awesome. But, you know, obviously the game wants you to pick Yukari the first time, and I didn't. So maybe if I did, it would be a little more interesting. Whatever it is, I enjoyed all three games. It was really fun to play it. It's been a very long time since I played a visual novel with full voice acting, and I was glad to do that with these games. And, you know, luckily I don't have to wait that long to do it again because beginning next Sunday, I'll be playing through Trigger Witch, and that should only take me a few streams. And after that, I'm kind of thinking of going back to Reverie and finishing that because it's about as long as Trigger Witch, if not shorter, and I really enjoyed that. But anyway, the next visual novel I'll be playing on Sundays is going to be Yume Itsutsu, which I played a long time ago, but I got the bad ending on that, and like it's been literally maybe 3 years since I played through it. So I think it'd be fun for me to play through it again and try and get the true ending. I think that'd be pretty awesome. But that's going to be several weeks from now, if not several months from now, because again, starting next Sunday, Trigger Witch, and then probably Reverie. Anyway, I'm glad that I played through LoveKami. It was my choice to play through these, and I'm glad I did. And I hope that you guys got interested and might check the game out yourself. We still got physical copies through PlayAsia if you want to get it and check out the other 6 endings I didn't get. All right, here's the post-credit scene. Hey, Shion, you ready?
ちょうど完成したところだよ、アッキー。バッチリのタイミングだね。
I showed up to the kitchen just as Shion was turning off the stove.
あとはできたこれを弁当箱に詰めて。よし、これで完璧。
Well done. I'll carry it.
いいの？
You already have a lot to carry.
それじゃあお願いしようかな。
The bento box packed for multiple people turned out to be pretty heavy. But knowing it was all food prepared by Shion, I didn't feel the weight at all.
約束の時間ギリギリだよ。
There's no need to rush. We could still make it.
そうかな。でも遅れたら悪いし、早く行こう、アッキー。
All right. She's so happy. I love it. I love it when the main characters are happy at the end. I knew we'd end up rushing.
これも私のなせる人徳。いや、神徳だよね。
Carrying snacks and fruit in her arms, Shion puffed herself up with pride. Ever since she cooked for the elderly that day, her reputation had skyrocketed. We could barely step out of the house without being weighed down with little gifts and offerings.
岩倉のおばちゃん。
Hello, Mrs. Iwakura.
あら、こんにちは、あきらくん、しおんちゃん。
Mrs. Iwakura greeted us with a hearty smile.
二人してお出かけなんてデートかしら。
Don't worry, Dim, I'm not doing the sister route.
デートって言いたいところだけど、今日は白根のおじいちゃんたちに手料理を振る舞う約束なの。
あら、知らねおじいちゃんたちのところへ行くのね。しおんちゃんの手料理が食べられるなんてみんな泣いて喜びそうね。
After chatting with Mrs. Iwakura, we rushed on to Mr. Shirane's house.
ねえアッキー、こうしてちゃんと見てみるとさ、私って大事にされてるんだね。
Of course. You're a goddess of Kamimori. Plus, you're my companion and wife.
そっか、すごく嬉しいや。
Shion smiled bashfully.
ねえアッキー、私さ、今までいろんな街を渡り歩いてきたんだ。貧乏神だから一箇所にとどまれなくて、人と深く関わることも避けてきた。でもさ、この街は違った。アッキーに、楓姉さん、ゆかりっちや街のみんなに出会えて、私は変われたよ。
She just looks so happy. Dim, I understand. And if you don't want to show up to those streams, I also understand for that reason. I'm just able to look past it. I guess that's just the simplest explanation I have. You're wrong. You're the one who wanted to change and worked so hard for it. You made it happen yourself. We all love you, Shion. You can't just wait around for things to change. Shion was able to grow so much because she took action. Witnessing her determination had only made us adore Shion even more.
私もアッキーのこと、この町のことが大好きだよ。だから今はもう貧乏神であることに感謝さえしてるくらい。
I was proud that this town had become a place Shion could call home.
ねえアッキー、これからも私がドジ踏んだり失敗したり落ち込んだら助けてくれる？
You can count on me. I'll help you out even if you say no. I promised you, remember?
そうだったね。それじゃあ例に私も目かけとして夜のお手伝いをもっと励まないと。
Good night, everybody. Where did that come from? She totally ruined the innocent vibe.
真面目な話ばっかりしてると疲れるからね。
I concur. You're never going to change, are you?
それが持ち味ですから。ね、アッキー。これからも貧乏神のみそのシオンをどうぞよろしくお願いします。
All right. And that brings LoveKami Trilogy to an end. Here, let me pull a little party trick here. There we go. LoveKami Divinity Stage, Useless Goddess, and Healing Harem, all done. Whew. It really was a lot of fun playing through this. So, thanks to Dimlord and Mikei-chan, and everyone else who has watched throughout this whole 9-part stream. And Illumno as well. And shout out to the lurkers, and shout out to everyone who watches this on YouTube afterwards. Love you, appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing your time. All right. Again, starting next Sunday, I will be playing through Trigger Witch. I'll be starting a brand new game and playing it from beginning to end with as many streams as that takes. So, something to look forward to for next time. All right. Thank you once again, everyone, for being here. On behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week. Make sure to pick up LoveKami Trilogy physically on Nintendo Switch through Play Asia, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.